y'all doing today?
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Last preseason game, anything in particular you really want to show with your last preseason game here?
Just show I can make improvements as far as from the last game, and I can actually catch. That's pretty much the only improvements I want to show for this game.
What have you gotten out of the first two preseason games in terms of, sort of acclimating to NFL game speed and other things that might be beneficial the last couple of weeks?
Just really that, just real life now. The game is much faster. You out there with better players. You out there with people who understand what's going on around them, and just the fact that I gotta, increase my football knowledge, increase my situational football knowledge. I gotta increase everything about myself to be able to go out there and play at full speed.
I saw you and Jalen yesterday off to the side during drills talking. If you remember, what was that conversation about, and then what has that relationship been like since you guys have been doing all this?
It's been pretty good, to be honest. I really realized he's just a year older than me, but he's been in the league a lot longer. So just whenever I got a question or whenever I don't understand anything, I always go and ask him, and he always plays the big brother role and gives me the information that I need. And the conversation is pretty much about just formations and understanding that if the receiver splits cut down, could I play it this way or should I walk down and play at a certain level? So I'm just always asking questions just to be able to go out there, make sure I hold my part down on the other side.
How do you balance working with intensity in practice and in games, of course, but not getting drawn into conflict, not getting drawn into something that could lead to a personal foul and a penalty against you guys?
Just you gotta know, gotta know what the line is. To be honest, you gotta understand that intensity is really what's a part of this game, and I'm always gonna bring it. But just I gotta know where the line is drawn at, and not to go over it to cause harm to the team.
Where do you think you're at on that? Like, how do you think you've done, and what are you thinking about that going forward?
I feel like I understand where I'm at, and I understand what I need to do moving forward, and I'm just really trying my best, just to see how far I can get with being with creating this intensity and making sure that I just don't overcross the line. I feel like I haven't overstepped yet, with the penalty I had last game. That was just a simple mistake. Not probably, but it won't happen again, to be honest. And I feel like I haven't hit that threshold yet. I understand where I'm at and how I got to move to play this game.
Is it tougher here just because you got this coaching staff preaching the hits philosophy and they're grading you on it on every single day, so you want to show them that, but obviously you probably creep closer to that line just naturally because of the style of play that they want you to play here.
I feel like I creep to it because that's how I play. I feel like even in college, that's how I was always aggressive and always brought the intensity. So it always seemed like I'm close to that line. But it's not much harder here. They want you to be a little bit more contained and controlled with it. So just try to figure out how can I do that, but also still be the best version of me.
Tyrique, with the way the preseason's gone and with you being a rookie, what's your eagerness to get to week one? Like, if it were Sunday, would you be good with that, or do you just feel like with the work you need to do or whatever that you're good with the next couple of weeks of preparation to get there? How eager are you to get to week one?
Very eager, but I'm really on the day-to-day mindset. I just feel like tomorrow I should wake up and be the best version of myself, and me doing that every day and me constantly working on myself is going to help me lead up to game one. I'm very eager to start the game, but start the season and play week one. But at the same time, we still got to focus on Saturday, and I still got to go out there and prove myself.
Knowing how important takeaways are to this coaching staff, I mean, it's the T in hits principle. Jalen said the other day he's been very intentional about trying to find creative ways to generate those. How do you go about that?
Pretty much the same way. Just staying late, watching film, and trying to understand where I'm at on the field at all times. And you got to and doing jugs after practice just to make sure that when I have my opportunities and when, it's approachable, I can go ahead and approach it and make sure that I, follow the hits principle and be able to get away takeaways.
When was it in your life that corner became kind of your primary position and your focus?
I would say in high school. I started off as a lineman in Little League. Then I ended up playing linebacker my first year or two in high school, and then my sophomore year in high school, I got through at corner because my other fellow corner, DJ Ivy, broke his ankle, and I got through and I got tortured that whole year. Like, I had to switch numbers twice. I had to go back from DB back to receiver, and I just vowed from that day just go out there and be the best version of me at corner. And my junior year in high school is when I fell in love with it.
Well, why'd you decide to stick with it even when you were getting tortured?
Cause it just gave me more room to show that I can do whatever I put my mind to, and that I just wanted to be one of the best, lockdown corners. I started watching Patrick Peterson highlights then, and it just started, trickling down from there.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Last man standing almost already. How difficult has that been to come in with all that expectation of continuity and then have to deal with kind of the same old thing? How much of a challenge?
For me, it's it's just keep on going. It's just can't really worry about it at the end of the day. Things happen, whatever's going on, but that's kind of between them and whoever's out and stuff like that. But for me, I dealt with it last year, so it's just a keep on going mindset. And when a new guy comes in or whatever happens, just keep my head forward and keep on grinding and trying to give my best foot forward for Saturday or Sunday when it comes. So that's all I can say about that.
How has Justin helped with the many changes on the offensive line, just kind of bringing you guys together?
I mean, he's stays the same always. Justin's he tries to be the same always and leading the group, making sure we're just all on the same page, having great days every day, and sometimes with that you might not have the best days some days, and he tries to keep us going and just moving forward always, and he does a good job with that.
Unfortunately, last year you said you dealt with all the moving parts. It was something that you were used to pretty much week in and week out. What did you learn from going through that last season that now that it's presented itself again, you're like, okay, this is exactly what we went through last year?
Yeah, the preparation part is probably the biggest thing. Just making sure I'm, whoever I am playing with that week, I'm going in and preparing with them, making sure, I'm fitting certain looks with them and just talking through things, making sure we're on the same page. That's all that is. Everybody's in the league for a reason. Everybody can get their job done for a reason. But at the end of the day, it takes preparation. So when you get to the game, you know what you're doing. And when things do come at you or you're with a different guy or whatever it is, you've prepared for that moment and you know what to do.
Braxton, with whoever's out there on Saturday, whoever's able to play, what can you guys squeeze out of one last little stretch of preseason game action?
Yeah, I just believe whatever time we get, prepare for the best out there. But whatever time you do get out there, it's just get the play call and do your job. Simply do your job. Get ready to go for come week 1 against Green Bay. Obviously, most important. But when I'm out there, I just want to do my job to the fullest and get those full speed reps and just have fun at the end of the day too. The first preseason game we were out there and it was really fun to be out there and score those 2 touchdowns. So I just want to have fun, do my job, and play at a high level and in extreme effort.
Braxton, we talked to you earlier in camp. You were somewhat critical of yourself and some of your hand placement. Do you feel like you worked that out and got past all that?
Yeah, I mean it comes and goes. I mean we're in the NFL. These guys are in the NFL for a reason too. I think it's getting better. I definitely had a better week of preparation for myself, just, kind of being hard on myself and stuff like that, which is good, but, you got to take it day by day each day. And like I said earlier, everybody's here for a reason, so you might have some reps here and there that are, don't look as good, but the biggest thing is how you look at it and critique yourself and come back the next day and try and fix those problems. And so that's the biggest thing I try and do is just every day I try and work on 1 to 2 things, 1 pass and 1 in the run game, and I think that keeps me on a steady rise constantly.
Braxton, obviously, next man up in a lot of spots in the offensive line. What does Kramer bring to that spot when he's in there with the top group, and how have you seen him grow since he came in with you as a rookie?
Yeah, no, I mean, Doug's a guy that I worked with a lot when I was a rookie. He's a super smart guy. He knows how to study very well, and I just praise him for, whatever's called upon him. He just he's ready to go. He studies hard. He's very smart. And so, to have a guy like that at center, just come in and, do whatever he has to do to, get the job done. I praise a guy like that. And so, like I said, me and Doug, used to sit back in those hotel rooms and study for days and just all night long until we couldn't study anymore. So, you know, being out there with him has been great, and I fully believe in whatever he can do.
Braxton,
Even though you're self-critical, how is your comfort level different this year than it was last year at this time?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I I would say it's a big difference. Just being more, you know, relaxed in the position I am. Not relaxed, saying whatever starter or anything like that, but just like being able to chill out and like, certain moments and stuff like that, and just kind of do my job. Last year I struggled getting off the ball a little bit just because I was thinking about the play too much. Now this year, it's not like that. Like it's just I get up, I heard the play, and it's just boom, boom. Like instead of just like, oh, what's that read or what's that key? What do I got to think about? It's not necessarily that. It's a better flow. So it's just definitely way more comfortable. And then now it's just more technical things. And then when I'm getting out of techniques is when I'm having problems. And so I just got to get back to the basics and trust my training.
So you had a better week of, when you say you had a better week of preparation, does that mean like you went through your routine and things are feeling better, or did you make any changes to help you prepare for the week better?
I would just say it's just different being in Indy. That's kind of when I was, being a little bit hard on myself. But it's just different being in Indy. It's doesn't feel right. You're not at home, obviously. Obviously, you have certain away games, but you're still at home up until the point you got to leave. So I just think, I was a little bit out of my schedule in terms of, all my daily routines and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's really no excuse. You got to still go out and perform. You never know what comes up. So next time I'll be a little bit more aware of that situation. And it was my first time doing joint practices, so I didn't, I was in for, a little awakening as well. So next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. But as of this week, yeah, it's just been a little bit better. Getting back into my routine that I had some of last year, and then adding stuff to that as well.
Braxton Semo said yesterday that the biggest difference he's seen in you this year is your confidence in the scheme and understanding everything that's going on around you. How do you describe that confidence now compared to last year?
Yeah, it's just like the bigger picture. Like you start to understand things way more once you come around, a second time. Just certain things in the playbook that I just literally go like this. Like I'd have no idea necessarily what's going on. And now since like I've had a chance to see it the second time, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I see why the defender's doing that and why he's not doing that. Certain things like that, it just makes you 10 times more confident. And then when you go out, you rep it all week. It's super hard during the week because that's how you want to be. And then you go out on Sunday and it's just like you can play fast. So I feel like that's the big thing. And I'm just super excited to see that even for us coming up this Saturday.
how key has it been to have Cody back next to you, as you guys are the only two? How much easier does that make doing your job, as you talked about?
I mean, we definitely have we worked next to each other for a long time, so that there's a good duo there, I would say. But I mean, other than that, I will work with anybody the same. I mean, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask Tevin to get as much work as I'm gonna ask Cody. So it's the same thing for me. I go about my work the same way. I want to be great with both guys. But it is it's nice having Cody because obviously I worked with him a little bit more than I had time with Tevin. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me at all. Just more time on the field necessarily and how you communicate. So appreciate you guys. You guys are thanks for having me.
Terell, Mandy Eberflus was talking about how he's been really upfront and honest with you guys about your statuses and who's competing with whom. Do you think that you're competing for a starting cornerback job still with Tyrique Stevenson, as we thought earlier this year?
Yeah, I feel like there's always a competition. You always want to go out there and put your best foot forward every single day. So, yeah, I would say so. It's just like competition with yourself, just to go out there and be the best that you could be every day and put the best tape out there. So, yeah.
With one last preseason game on the docket this Saturday, is there anything specifically you want to show during that last preseason game?
Just show that I know all my assignments, my alignments, know where all my keys and stuff are. Just show everyone that I know like the defense and my preparation and everything. So just show them that.
do you think has been your biggest area of growth since training camp started?
I would say just like physically, like my body, just being able to take care of my body and just learning new ways to stay like fresh and things like that. So I would say that.
On the field, is there something you're doing now in practice that you couldn't or wouldn't, just weren't doing at the beginning?
In terms of
Just your play. I mean, just as far as making plays or, knowing what's going on out there, or just, knowing what you're seeing, or just anything like that.
I'll say definitely like from now compared to like OTAs and stuff, like a lot of stuff slowed down for me, and that was like I feel like that was a big factor in me like making more plays, getting my hands on the football every day. So I'll just say like the overall game just kind of slowed down since then.
You talked about learning how to take care of your body better. What are you doing that you haven't done before? What's different?
Like post practice, like doing like running in the underwater treadmill, like the hydro works, things like that, like just things like that that I didn't do in college, and just like staying on top of like soft tissue stuff like that. I would say those are like the two main things.
Thank you.
Thank you.